Replacing the air mix actuator in my 2006 Nissan, my wife's 2006 Nissan Armada LE. And it's got the notorious dash clicking. I haven't seen a lot of videos done on this, so I'm going to take a stab at it. I had the dealership do this a couple years back. It cost me $750 for them to do it. And according to them, they had to dismantle the entire dash. But I read a couple forums that says you can go underneath, remove a couple of modules under the dash, and get to it. So we're going to try that. I've already removed the lower dash panel from under the steering column and that little kick plate on the side of the console. The guy recommended removing the driver's seat. I'm not going to remove it because I've got all this other under the driver's seat that I don't want to deal with. So I'm going to contort my body. It's that piece. I don't know if you can see that little silver screw right there. That's the actuator I'm going for. In order to get to it, you have to remove black module. Grab a screwdriver and start removing these wiring harnesses. Okay, that is a 10mm. Okay, I might have to rethink this. Oh. What did I just do? Oh, okay. So obviously, this guy controls the courtesy light. And I'm wondering if I should disconnect the battery before doing all of this. Okay, well, anyway, it's done, so. To remove that black wiring harness, I'm going to try these guys. Kind of like narrow jaws that I'm hoping will be able to attack this wiring harness from both ends. This side. Aha! That's the money right there. These guys. Attack this connector from the passenger side of the model. Now, this guy comes out. What I am doing is removing this bracket right here. These inner bolts are what hold that little Bose amp in place, and I had to remove the same 10mm bolts. It actually goes in this little eye, the bolt comes, so I had to undo those bolts from the engine side, and that was a BS to get to. Oh, maybe I can get to this better now. Oh, fuck, come on. Able to get the black one out, and that's pretty easy. It was just, you gotta squeeze like hell on that blue tab. You understand what's going on the back side of this. I think that, there we go. So it's that piece. Tab right here, you really gotta push in there. You can't even see it, so you just gotta feel around, hope you're in the center, and just push and pull. Oh, it's just not gonna work. Anyway. Oh, fuck. Oh man, that's not even a zip tie. I just fucked that whole piece. Oh well. Last Nissan I'll ever own. Tab right there, that makes That makes no sense to have that tab right there. You know what? Yeah, let's just go ahead and bend that. Oh, there's another one up there. Alright, I might have to bend him too. Alright guys, so I have one of the bolts removed already. That took a 9/32 socket. There's also another bolt towards the top side. These are the lower bolts. The top bolt is a 7/32. I was able to remove two of the bolts that hold the actuator in place, and this larger one, this is your this is the one that's 9/32. Smaller one is 7/32. This is the one that's really hard to get to, but you kind of gotta use both hands, feel around, and get the socket on the head of that bolt. One thing I did discover about the 9/32 though is it's a hex bolt, plus it's got a Torx inside, so it's a T20 sized bolt on the inside. So if you're using the T20 Torx bit to remove this one, take this straight out. Oh shoot. Okay, well, that white piece just fell as soon as I removed this actuator out of there. Okay. Fuck. Finally got this out. This is the old one. I don't know what's going on with this. It looks fine to me. Right, this is the new one. And the part 27743 Zulu Papa 00 Alpha. So, dealership. I shopped this around because I called a couple different dealerships. One quoted me $58 for this, and I called around some more, and another one said 32 bucks. So definitely pays to make some phone calls. I'm starting to run out of daylight, but what I've decided to do is just light on. Those two brackets that come off of this, there's a bar that runs all the way down from side to side in the dash, and those two brackets that are coming down, this one and there's one over there, and I'm going to remove that bracket, this one closest to the actuator, because I can get by with just one side on this because it was attached on both sides. But I'm not going to be taking this vehicle off-road. I don't drive down any cobblestone streets. It's not going to be banging around or vibrating out of there. So I think one side of this bracket will be plenty to secure the Bose amp and that module, that other black module that we removed earlier. Okay, so this is after I've replaced the actuator, and I apologize that I don't have any video of that. What ended up happening was I removed that bracket, like I said I was going to do, which is, as you're looking up, you have a bracket on this side. There was one bracket on this side as well, but that's completely gone. What I ended up doing was I just like pushed it in and toward me, away, until eventually the little spot weld they had it attached to that bar just gave out, and it just came off nice and clean. But once that was off, I could totally get to that actuator right there. But because that white piece had fallen, it was completely off the whatever post that it rotates on. I ended up taking this entire black panel off, the black panel that the actuator mounts to. I took that off completely, and it's held on by some other 7/32 bolts. Once I took that off, I could get to the white cam that it's got these little pegs that follow these grooves that are on the cam, and it just kind of like whenever the cam turns, it adjusts those pegs and it moves doors inside the AC system to either blow on your face, blow on your feet, defrost. It just depends on what mode you have it set to. With that black plate removed, I was able to remount that cam on the peg that it rides on, and with my wife's help I had the actuator connected so it had power. We turned the car onto accessory or on. I did not run the motor because I wanted to be able to hear. So I had her go through the different modes on the air conditioning, from defrost to face to feet, to face and feet, or defrost and feet. And what happens is, as she's going through the modes, the actuator gear is turning itself accordingly. So wherever, like if she puts it on face, then that gear is going to turn to where it thinks face is going to be. So as she was turning the modes, I was turning that cam, the white piece, until I'd ask her, okay, do you feel it on face? Yes. Okay, she was set to face. I'd say, okay, next mode. If it was on feet, I would turn the mode until she could feel it on her feet. So when she put it on face, and I turned the cam until she felt it on her face. And then once that was confirmed good, I put the that black plate that I removed, I put that back on, just to kind of hold the cam in place. Then I put the actuator on, because at that point the actuator is already set to face. So, or feet, or whatever, you can decide, whatever mode you decide to put it back on. And I just put the actuator back on there. As I'm holding it, I didn't bolt it in, but I'm holding it, and then I had her go through the cycles again, each mode, so that the actuator was doing the moving this time, not my hand. So the actuator would move it to face, to feet, to defrost, whatever, and I just had her confirm that that was the case, when she went through the modes, that everything was working properly. Once I was done, then I replaced all the bolts holding the plate, and then I put all the bolts back in holding the actuator. Now if you're like me, I dropped one of the 7/32 bolts and it fell down into the carpet or something, and I never found this thing again. I had to run down to Home Depot and get this screw type, and it worked just fine. It looked to be the same size as the 7/32 size and thread count, whatever. But so it works. And now if I ever have to replace it again, it'll be a lot easier to get to. I just take off this bracket, this whole thing will come out, and I can just replace that actuator. But this is what I was talking about. So on this module, I moved this little bracket, this little L bracket, on one side only, so it worked out pretty good. And this thing is rock solid. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's good. So anyway, hope this helped. Any comments or questions, let me know. Thanks guys, good luck.